Hey, what's up? I'm back. I know it's been a long time, probably like 3 years. I know it's been like 3 years since I've been over here. I'm sorry for the delay, especially for my people who've been here for a minute. I know I had a whole show going on and I just kind of deserted it. Yo, I've been running this business. Right Choice has been growing like crazy, so I've been over here doing that. But I am back. But since I'm back, and it's been years since I actually made consistent content, I actually want to spend some time reintroducing myself again. Y'all know it's been 3 years, but like saving the world one number at a time is a hard job. So, no, ain't no cop out. I just ain't been doing the videos. But we are back and we going to be consistent because it get a little crazy when you don't have real people who actually know what they're talking about doing the talking. So since we are a really good firm, I like to consider myself a really good CPA, CFO. I'm going to actually make sure that I'm out here spreading some of this knowledge. So, a couple things I want to say as you enjoying this channel, depending on if you saw this video before or after, I'm going to give you like some of the, matter of fact, it's an intro video, so you know what it is. I just want to make sure you know I'm not one of these people that pretend like I don't use notes. I try not to break a lot of eye contact, but I'm going to be breaking it. I can see myself over here, so if you see me looking over here, I like how I look, so I'm looking at myself. If you see me looking down slightly, I'm checking my notes to make sure that I'm not getting off track, similar to how I'm doing now. So let's get into the video. And I want to make sure that you are happily entertained while being trained on how this accounting stuff is supposed to work. So who am I after already talking for a minute? My name is Albert C. Hurston Jr., CPA. I am the CEO, owner, founder, and lead strategist, I guess I'll say, at Right Choice Accounting Solutions. I've built this amazing full-service accounting and tax firm with my amazing, immaculate, gorgeous, beautiful wife, Lauren. Forgot to mention, if you see me looking over there, Lauren may be sitting right over there on that couch in my office, and Rachel may be right there. So this is a busy CPA office. You never know who may pop in. I'm not going to stop the recording. Again, my goal here ain't just look perfect. I'm recording in my office. I work out of this office. I got a big old team, so if you see Crystal pop in here to ask me a question, you might just hear like some behind the scenes question stuff. I'll make sure you don't get any private information, but you may actually hear like what's really going on in the day-to-day of a real successful accounting firm. So again, Albert C. Hurston Jr., CPA, owner, founder, CEO of this firm. What we do full service accounting. So what that means is we may cover everything from the basic bookkeeping, basic payroll, tax preparation to fractional CFO work. We do numbers-based strategy. We make sure you got good budgets, projections. We make sure you understand what those numbers are saying about your business, and we do a really good job of it. I'm back here to be a little bit serious for a minute because quite frankly, I'm tired of social media gurus and online influencers giving you tips and tricks when they don't know what they're talking about, when there are really highly professional, qualified experts who can be telling you about this stuff. I know if you're on Instagram, you see all kind of tax tips and tricks from a person who sells whatever, but you don't see a ton of it from CPAs, financial advisors. You don't see a ton of it from an actual financial pros, and that's a problem because a lot of people have to come and pay us a lot of money to fix some of that trick advice. And I want to help you avoid it by making sure that you have a really good place to come to see and get good information on that stuff. So that's why I'm back, y'all. I was kind of just going to be quiet, run my business, make sure my team is good, make sure my clients are good, because I don't actually love being like a yapper. But, you know, when people are yapping on your industry's behalf, looks like you need to yap louder. So I'm back. What's coming here, and I will look at my notes for this one. On this channel, you're going to get a lot of information about how accounting works. You'll get a lot of information about like the numbers every business owner should know as they're running their business. If you are like heavily online, you know there's a lot of stuff that people tell you to focus on. Very few people tell you need to be making every single decision based on your numbers. So we're going to get into the why behind that. You're going to get really logical, strategic ways of doing stuff outside of guessing, because as you know, if you're not using data or numbers, you're really guessing. And if you're paying somebody to ask them what you should do in cases and they're not using data and numbers, they're guessing on your behalf, and you the one who's gonna have to pay for it. So we get into a lot of that stuff. We get into real tax strategy, right? So not go start an S corp or start a C corp or keep that LLC or hire your kids. Not like stuff like that. Not go buy a Range Rover because it weighs over 6,000. Not do a cost segregation because you can write off a property. None of that generic stuff. We're going to talk about how you need to go through your numbers for your business, decide the thing that makes sense for you, and we're going to talk about why it makes sense. Again, y'all, this is real stuff. We're going to talk about it the way that it's actually done at real accounting firms in real life, and we're going to debunk a lot of this online noise that our great people are being exposed to. So you can really expect that stuff. You can expect that numbers-based strategy. If I haven't said that already, that's my thing. You're going to get some myth busting. You're going to get some hot takes. You're going to get like a lot of stuff that is in the accounting and finance and tax realm, and it's coming from a professional who has an integrity level where I'm not just going to make stuff up. Not just going to give you stuff I heard, not going to give you stuff I heard from the grapevine or my millionaire friend, blah, 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 said this thing and this is how. We don't do that. We go by the IRS guidance. We go by GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. We go by real research stuff, and I'm going to give it to you in a way that you can actually understand. So if you ever catch me like putting my nerd hat on and getting a little bit jargonish, put a comment down there and be like, don't nobody understand that, Albert. Like, talk to me like I'm not you. Because a lot of accountants, a lot of us, we can get into our nerd bag and get into like, I can be like, yeah, GAAP. Like, don't nobody know what that means. GAAP is just generally accepted accounting principle. It's just how we do stuff. There are there are guided ways, I'll just say for lack of better ways, there are structured ways, is a better way to say it, that we're supposed to do things in this accounting industry. GAAP is what dictates those things, for lack of better words. So when you hear me saying something, I'm not making it up. I went scrolling Instagram and saw somebody who was popular say this thing, so now I'm about to spend thousands of dollars trying it so an accountant can come tell me later, hey, that was a bad move. S-Corps are hurting a lot of people. But you'll see I get more into that stuff. So I guess that's it, y'all. Again, you'll get a lot of great information here. If you like the personality, as you can see, I'm not your buttoned up stuffy accountant. This isn't going to be like a boring, stuffy college class where I'm over here like, bookkeeping is important because... No, none of that stuff. None of that stuff is not going to be boring unless you typically or truly hate any nerd stuff. But if you are a nerd like me that likes high energy, interesting nerd stuff versus like reading, I'm not gonna put that on Dr. Phil. My age, I'm gonna show my age if I always talk about Dr. Phil and get the dries out. But anyways, won't be boring, won't be stuffy, maybe a little bit energetic. So if you're someone who likes people to stick to the point and go by the bullets, you will be able to get what you need from here. But you may just have to hear a little bit more yapping because we're gonna yap. People like yap, I'm gonna yap, just so the people can get what they like, because the information will be there, the entertainment must be there as well, because I want to keep you engaged and listening, and I want to give you something to comment about, because sometimes I may be yapping and I may say something in a way that I didn't mean to say it, and meant one thing and said a different thing. So somebody needs to get in a comment and be like, hey, what you meant, bro? I don't nobody know what that means. You said this and then you said that. Which is it? So I can clean that stuff up. So it's going to be interactive around here at Right Choice. So the goal is always to talk to you like a friend, right? Talk to you like I actually care about you understanding what I'm saying. This isn't talking at you. This isn't lecturing you. I'm not Professor Albert, the CPA. I am Albert, the homeboy. I'm the one that you know from college. I'm the one that you know. And when we're talking with each other in community with each other, let's talk like that. I just so happen to be, a CPA who's been featured in Forbes for being best, who's been featured by my college for being top alumni, who's been featured by my county for being best in county, just a really high level qualified homie. So I hope all of this makes sense. Again, sorry about the hiatus. Y'all know how it is. They always say if the real experts are quiet, that leaves room for the fake experts to thrive. And I feel like it's my turn to come up and show you what a real expert who can talk this stuff in a very simple, plain English way, because I really understand it. I don't have to sound smart. I am smart. Anyways, though, that's pretty much the intro video. Again, if you've been here for years, sorry I've been on hiatus. It really has been a time where I've just been focusing on building business. Business has been thriving and growing, but again, it's time for us to step out, and we need more of these voices, I would say. Or I shouldn't say that comes from me. That comes from everybody who knows me, who's always like, man, you need to do more so people know people like you exist, and blah, blah, blah. And you know my point is always like, y'all know them exist. You talking to me right now. But nah, I'm back. And I'll just say that. So if you've been here the whole time, if you're one of the followers that's been here, I shouldn't say followers, one of the subscribers who's been here for the years, all the 3 years that I've been missing, and the time that social media has been posting the shorts, thank you. Welcome back. It's going to be a lot of consistency going on around here. And if you're someone who new here, welcome to Right Choice. Welcome to this Albert the CPA, how accounting should be done world. You're going to enjoy it here. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you turn on your notifications. Make sure you leave comments on anything, video topics, stuff that you heard that I need to clean up in future videos or come back and fix this video. Just leave those comments. Let's engage, y'all. Let's make sure that we make this an environment that's helpful for everyone, because I'm going to put in the time and you actually have the power to ensure that you get what you need. So let me know what you need. You can definitely drop comments right down there. It's going to shape the future content. And I guess that'll be the end of this yap. Again, welcome to Right Choice. Welcome to the channel. And I will be looking forward to talking with you soon. Peace.